We live in a world that seeks to mold, confine, and control. From the moment we take our first breath, we are given names, identities, rules, and expectations. We are told who we are, how we should think, and what we must desire. Yet there are those among us who do not fit into the mold, who feel an unshakable pull toward something greater, something beyond the limits of ordinary existence. These are the chosen ones. If you are here, if you are listening, you already know this. You have felt it, the weight of existence pressing against you, the unseen forces that seem determined to break you. You have walked a path different from others, one marked by trials, betrayals, isolation, and suffering that cannot be explained by mere coincidence. Life has not been easy for you, not because you are meant to fail, but because you are meant to awaken. The world does not break chosen ones, it refines them. Imagine a seed buried deep beneath the soil. In darkness, it begins to crack, its shell splitting apart. And to the unknowing eye, this might seem like destruction, like an end. But in truth, this breaking is simply the beginning of its transformation. Without it, the seed would never grow into the towering tree it was destined to become. This is the path of every awakened soul. The world will try to break you, not because you are weak, but because you are powerful beyond measure. Darkness has always sought to extinguish light. But when the light is divine, when it is unshaken by illusion, no force in existence can destroy it. Have you ever wondered why your struggles have been so intense? Why others seem to move through life with ease, while you are tested again and again? It is because you have been called to something higher. You have been chosen, not by man, not by society, but by the universe itself. The very fabric of existence has woven you into its design, marked you as a soul who must transcend the illusion of this world. But what is this illusion? It is the great deception that binds the masses. It is the belief that we are separate, that we are merely flesh and bone, that we must follow the rules of a world built upon fear, greed, and control. It is the falsehood that tells you to conform, to silence your inner knowing, to accept a life that does not resonate with your soul.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
The moment you begin to see through the illusion, the moment you start to wake up, the resistance begins. The world reacts like a body fighting off an infection. It sees your awakening as a threat, because in truth it is. A single awakened soul has more power than an entire army of the asleep. You are not meant to live in chains. You are not meant to be controlled. That is why your path has been so difficult. The world does not challenge those who are content to remain asleep. It does not seek to break those who follow the script. But for the chosen ones, for those who dare to rise, the trials never cease. You have been tested through loss, rejection, betrayal, and suffering, not as punishment, but as preparation. Every hardship you have faced has been refining your spirit, burning away the illusions, tempering you like sacred steel. The greatest masters of history, Buddha, Christ, Krishna, the mystics and sages of old, all walked the path of suffering before they attained enlightenment. They were outcasts, misunderstood, ridiculed, and persecuted. Yet, through their trials, they became untouchable. They saw beyond the veil. They realized that this world, as we perceive it, is but a dream, a temporary realm designed to test and awaken the soul. And now I ask you, what if everything you have been through was not meant to break you, but to reveal you? What if every betrayal was a lesson in discernment? What if every loss was a reminder of impermanence? What if every moment of suffering was simply the fire that forges the divine within you? There is a reason you are here. There is a reason you have endured when others would have given up. The world has tried to silence you, to weaken you, to make you doubt your own power. But here you are, still standing, still seeking, still rising. You must understand this truth. The darkness only fights what it fears. If the forces of this world have sought to break you, it is because they know your power. They know who you are. Even if you have doubted, even if you have questioned your worth, the universe has never questioned you. And now you must decide. Will you allow the world to define you, to break you, to convince you that you are less than what you are? Or will you rise? Will you step into your true self, the self that cannot be contained, the self that is eternal, luminous, and unshakable? Because here is the final truth: the world cannot break chosen ones. It can test them. It can strip them of everything they once knew. It can push them to the edge of despair, but it cannot break them. Because chosen ones are not of this world. They are here, but they are not from here. They are guided by something greater, something beyond the grasp of those who seek to control. Their souls are forged in the fire of divine truth, and no amount of suffering, no force of darkness can diminish that light. So ask yourself, what if everything you once feared was only an illusion? What if you were never meant to fit in, but to transcend? Because no matter how hard this world tries, it will fail. You were never meant to be broken. You were meant to awaken. There comes a point in every chosen one's journey where the weight of existence feels unbearable. But the trials become relentless, the suffering deepens, and the illusions of the world become more suffocating. This is the stage where most people give up, where they allow the world to break them, to convince them that they are powerless, that they were mistaken in believing they were meant for something greater. But you are not here to break. You are here to transcend. The world does not attack those who are insignificant. The forces that govern this reality do not waste their energy on those who are content to remain asleep. The resistance you feel, the constant battles you face, are not random. They are not mere misfortune. They are the signs that you are awakening, that you are stepping beyond the program designed to keep you docile, controlled, and unaware of your true nature. When you begin to see the illusion for what it is, the illusion fights back. It manifests as people turning against you, as unexpected obstacles, as moments of despair that make you question everything. It speaks through the voices of those around you, telling you that you are lost, that you are foolish, that you should just settle like everyone else. It plays tricks with your mind, making you doubt your own path, making you wonder if you are imagining everything, if none of this is real. But deep down, you know the truth. You have always known. Consider the story of the butterfly. Before it can take flight, it must first dissolve completely within its cocoon. This is not a gentle transformation. It is destruction, complete and total. The caterpillar must cease to exist as it was. It must disintegrate into something unrecognizable before it can emerge as the being it was always destined to become. This is what the world does to chosen ones. It does everything in its power to break them down, to strip them of everything they thought they were. But this breaking is not the end. It is the process of becoming. Look back on your life. Every moment of suffering, every betrayal, every instance where you were pushed to your limit, what did it do to you? Did it destroy you, Or did it forge you? Did it not strip away your illusions, forcing you to see deeper truths? Did it not push you to seek wisdom that others never even think to question? Without those trials, would you have ever begun to awaken? The greatest souls in history have walked this path. The saints, the mystics, the prophets, the enlightened beings, they all suffered immensely, not because they were cursed, but because they had to be refined, because their purpose was too great to be carried by an untested soul. And now, ask yourself, what if your suffering is not a punishment, but a preparation? What if every hardship was designed to strengthen you, to purify you, to strip you of everything that is not truly you? What if, instead of breaking you, the world is unknowingly shaping you into something it cannot control, something it fears? There is a reason why those who seek truth, those who seek enlightenment, those who seek to rise beyond the ordinary, are tested more than anyone else. It is because once you rise, once you fully awaken, you become untouchable. You become something the world cannot manipulate. And that is the greatest fear of the illusion. It fears those who cannot be swayed by material wealth, by social approval, by the expectations of a world built on fear and deception. It fears those who have seen beyond the veil, those who have realized that they are not merely flesh and bone, but eternal consciousness experiencing a temporary reality. It fears those who cannot be controlled, because they hold the power to awaken others. And so, it tries to break you before you reach that point. It tries to exhaust you, to make you believe that the struggle is not worth it, to convince you to surrender before you fully step into your power. But you must not surrender. Because the moment you refuse to break, the moment you choose to endure, to rise, to keep going despite everything, something shifts. The illusion begins to lose its grip. The trials that once seemed unbearable begin to feel like mere tests, challenges that no longer shake you to your core. The pain that once controlled you no longer has power over you. The fear that once dictated your actions dissolves into nothingness. And then something incredible happens. You begin to radiate a presence, an energy that others can sense. People may not understand it, but they feel it. They see it in your eyes, in your words, in the way you move through the world untouched by the chaos that consumes others. This is the mark of the awakened. But awakening is not the end. It is only the beginning. Because once you have risen beyond the illusion, once the world can no longer break you, a new path emerges. A path of purpose, of wisdom, of power that is not rooted in control, but in divine truth. And this is where the true journey begins. Because the world does not only try to break chosen ones, it also tries to silence them. It fears not only their strength, but their ability to awaken others. And so, it will try to isolate you, to make you feel alone, to convince you that no one else understands. But this too is an illusion, because all over the world there are others like you, the others who have endured, who have risen, who have refused to break. And when chosen ones find each other, when they stand together, something unstoppable is born. So ask yourself, what if everything you have endured was leading you to this moment? What if the very fact that you are still here, still seeking, still rising, is proof that the world has already failed in its attempt to break you? What if everything you once feared was never meant to destroy you, but to awaken you? Because the truth is, the world never had the power to break you. It only had the power to test you. And you have already passed the test. You are not here to be broken. You are here to transcend. There comes a point in every chosen one's journey where they realize that the world was never truly against them. It was merely a reflection, a test, a force that unknowingly shaped them into who they were always meant to be. The suffering, the betrayals, the isolation, the endless trials, none of it was random. Every moment of pain was a lesson, every obstacle was a refinement, and every loss was a doorway to something greater. But the world did not break you. It woke you up. Now, you stand at the threshold of something extraordinary. You have endured what most could not. You have seen beyond the illusion, beyond the lies that keep humanity asleep. You have felt the weight of existence pressing down on you, and yet you are still here. Do you realize what that means? It means that the world has already failed. Every attempt to silence you, to crush you, to make you doubt yourself, it was all in vain. Because here you are, stronger, wiser, more unshakable than ever before. The trials that were meant to destroy you have instead turned you into something the world cannot control. But now, you must ask yourself the most important question of all. What will you do with this power? Because make no mistake, awakening is not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning. Too many people reach this stage only to retreat back into the world, to hide their light, to pretend they are still the person they once were. They fear what comes next. They fear the responsibility of being awake in a world that thrives on ignorance. But you did not come this far to turn back now. You did not endure all this suffering just to blend back into the illusion. You are here for a reason, and that reason is greater than you have ever imagined. The world fears those who see through it, but it is absolutely terrified of those who refuse to be silent. The moment you begin to live as your true self, the moment you embrace your power without apology, the entire game changes. You stop reacting to the world, and instead you begin shaping it. Your presence alone begins to shift the energy of those around you. Your words carry a force that can awaken others. Your very existence becomes a disruption to the illusions that have kept humanity asleep for so long. This is why you were tested so fiercely, because the world knew that if you ever realized who you truly were, you would become unstoppable. But now, you must step forward. You must embrace your role as a chosen one, not with arrogance, but with the deep, unwavering knowing that you are here to bring something new into this world. You are here to be a guide, a beacon, a force that cannot be ignored. And yes, the world will continue to challenge you. It will still try to pull you back into fear, into doubt, into smallness. But now, you see the game for what it is. You see that every challenge is just another test, another opportunity to grow even stronger. You no longer fear the trials because you know they are simply proof that you are moving in the right direction. So now, I ask you, what will you create? What will you awaken in others? What will you do with this power that the world tried so desperately to make you forget? Because you are no longer just someone who has survived. You are someone who has transcended. And now, you must become the force that helps others do the same. The world does not break chosen ones, it forges them. And once they have been forged, once they have been stripped of every illusion, once they have become something unshakable, there is nothing left that can stop them. The darkness may try to silence them, but it will fail. The illusion may try to confuse them, but they will see through it. The world may try to pull them back, but they will only rise higher. Because chosen ones are not meant to be broken. They are meant to awaken, and once they do, the world will never be the same again.